For Telesur, I'm Cody Weddle in Caracas, Venezuela. We start tonight in Quito, Ecuador. That's where the presidents of South America inaugurated the new Union of South American Nations headquarters. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by Ecuadorian President Rafael Correa, who said that the building will house the spirit and hope of Latin America. During a previous meeting held in the port city of Guayaquil, the creation of the regional currency was proposed. That marks a new chapter in regional integration. And in Peru, the widows and children of murdered environmental activists traveled to the capital of Lima today to express their grief and their anger directly to the outgoing COP20 conference. Edwin Chota, a leader and environmental activist, and 3 other indigenous community leaders were assassinated by loggers as they attempted to defend their land. Only a short while before, Chota had called for greater protection from the government for communities such as his own.
The state here says it is doing good things. I don't see the good things that it is doing. For me, they are mistreating, they are abusing my rights as an Ashaninka. I ask for justice for my family, for my father whose body they have yet to find.
Mexican farmers took to the streets today in Mexico City, blocking the main avenue of the capital with their tractors to protest the disappearance of 43 students in September. The pressure on President Enrique Peña Nieto does not look to be slowing, and calls for his resignation continue.
Es una demanda, es un clamor.
This is a demand, a cry from all the country for the students, our comrades, to return. And we also demand the resignation of the president, who resembles Cantinflas. He keeps on giving speeches, but they are not reappearing.
In Argentina, abortion advocates held a conference in Buenos Aires to highlight the dangers of criminalizing abortion. They argued that keeping abortion illegal forces women to go underground. They say that undergoing clandestine abortions often puts the women's lives in danger. There were over an estimated 21 million total abortions carried out this year around the world. 98% were performed in developing countries.
As with other issues, the issue of class is at play. Those who suffer the most as a result of illegal abortions are poor women, the most socially excluded women. Women who have resources can easily pay for an illegal abortion at any clinic or apartment in any neighborhood in the city of Buenos Aires, and this is a safe abortion.
Staying in Latin America, Honduras has one of the highest rates of femicides and rape in Latin America and the second highest rate of teenage pregnancy. Despite the obstacles, feminist groups there are organizing to raise awareness and bring about change. Gerardo Torres has more.
In 2014, the situation of women's rights in the country worsened, with the level of impunity in crimes against women surpassing 95% and the women murdered every 14 hours.
Young women's organizations have emerged in San Pedro Sula, in the south of the country, and in some neighborhoods. In Tegucigalpa and La Ceiba, there is now the Network of Young Women of Cortez, the University Feminists of Cortez. There's a collective called Motherland, the Feminist Study Circle, and many other groups which are energizing the movement, giving it proposals.
Art has become an important tool for many organized collectives.
The Walls Talk is a street art project that involves 2 techniques, stencil and paper, and focuses on women's reproductive rights. Honduras in general is a country with high rates of rape and also of a great number of undesired pregnancy. And we are women in favor of having the ability to decide about our body.
The new groups are tired of machismo and are speaking up for a new generation of Honduran women. Gerardo Torres, Telesur, Central America.
Moving now to the United States, hundreds of protesters outraged by a New York grand jury's decision not to indict a white officer in the death of Eric Gardner hold a die-in. They lay down in the street near the Washington Monument. Civil rights activist Reverend Jesse Jackson spoke about the recent rulings by United States courts. He urges protesters in Washington, D.C. to remain disciplined, focused, and non-violent.
You really cannot fight bullets with bricks. The wrongful inaction by a New York grand jury, along with Bob McCullough, manipulated and perverted St. Louis County grand jury, truly reveals an American judicial system in crisis. We must march, protest, boycott, and vote about our anger.
U.S. President Barack Obama says that the United States and its allies, including Jordan, are making slow but steady progress in the fight against the Islamic State group Speaking after a visit with Jordan's King Abdullah at the White House, Obama praised Jordan for being a solid partner in the coalition to debilitate and destroy the group in the Middle East.
The Jordanian military has been working side by side with U.S. And other militaries from around the world in making slow but steady progress, providing assistance to Baghdad, providing assistance to the moderate opposition inside of Syria, and to begin rolling back some of the gains that ISIL has made.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Friday warned France that it could ruin its reputation by delivering a controversial warship to Russia. The move has been delayed due to the conflict in Ukraine. His comments come as Paris warns that the two Mistral-class helicopter carriers it built for Russia may never be delivered, with a lasting ceasefire in war-torn eastern Ukraine so far proving elusive.
I am a little fed up with this question. It is not our problem anymore. It is a problem of France's reputation. They have to fulfill all obligations under the contract.
Several thousand Hungarians protested against corruption in Budapest, the latest demonstration challenging the government of controversial Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Marchers held placards condemning some senior members of Orban's government for their alleged roles in recent corruption scandals. And to finish up our coverage of world events tonight, in Palestine, journalists have been targeted by Israeli security forces. For more, we go to Noor Harazin.
Clashes broke out between Palestinian youth and Israeli forces in different cities of the West Bank following Friday's prayer. A Palestinian cameraman was shot in the leg by Israeli forces while covering clashes in the Kalandia village of Kafr Kaddoum. Bashar Nazal, a cameraman with Palestine TV, was hit in the leg by live fire and taken to a local hospital for treatment. It is most likely that the journalists are Israel's latest target, as last week an Italian journalist was critically injured along with 11 Palestinians after Israeli forces opened live fire on a protest march in the village. In another incident, a 55-year-old Palestinian man was injured late Thursday after being knocked down by a settler car east of Yatta in the southern Hebron region. Locals said Mohammed Hamamdeh was riding a horse pulling a cart when he was hit by the Israeli settler vehicle. Israeli police who arrived at the scene requested that Hamamdeh present a license for having a horse-drawn cart. Meanwhile, in Gaza, a Palestinian teenager was injured on Friday after an Israeli unexploded bomb exploded near Rafah. Ashraf Al-Qidra, spokesman of the Ministry of Health, said that the 14-year-old had surgery to amputate the fingers on his right hand following the explosion. This incident brings back memories of what happened in October when Mohammed Abu Jarad, 4-year-old, was killed after touching an unexploded Israeli bomb left over from the summer military offensive. Noor Harazin, Telesu TV, Gaza.
Thanks to Noor. To end on this Friday, the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro has launched its celebrations for its 415th birthday. Although the city technically does not make the milestone until March of next year, the city started its celebration today and will have regular events for the next month. Among the highlights include reissuing rare books on the city's history and free museum entries. More on those stories and others at our website, telesurtv.net/English. For Telesur English, I'm Cody Weddle. Hope you have a great weekend.